Cobra. Never gets old, man. We ain't done with this thing yet, so we're just out running some errands right now. Been enjoying driving the car the past few weeks, but yeah, we got some work to do, so let's get back to the garage, get to work. Well, in the last video on this car, we installed some aftermarket parts to include a wideband O2 sensor and a boost gauge, as well as some minor cosmetic changes with the calipers and painting the brakes and things of that nature. And this car has been absolutely perfect. I've been driving it for the last few weeks as much as I can, as weather permits, and I've been having an absolute blast with it. But there's still a few things we got to do to bring this thing across the finish line and make it 100%. Because, I mean, we all know a car this nice, it's got to be 100%. So I got some parts over on the bench. Let me show you what we got. So a few small items that I've been wanting to do to this car to make sure that it's as perfect as it could possibly be. First one up, when I bought the car, it only had one set of keys, so I got an OEM set of replacement fob and key, of course, with the Ford stamp on it. So I need to get this cut, and then I need to program it to the car. So I'm hoping that my expensive scanner that I bought last year will do the trick on that. So that's one part. Second one is easy. This is a OEM Cobra 0304 Cobra owner's booklet here. These obviously came new with the cars, and when I bought this, the previous owner didn't have it. It had all that beautiful documentation, but no owner's manual. So in order for this to be as complete as I can possibly make it, I really wanted this thing to have the original SVT owner's booklet here, which I think really completes the car. And inside, so not only will you have the original owner's manual here, you also get the owner's guide supplement, which was specific to the Cobra. You can see Terminator right there on the front. So this is really nice to have with the car. Got a great deal on this on eBay. I think it was like 60 bucks. So I was really happy to find this in such good condition. So that one's easy. And then I'm sure you guys remember that earlier in or at least in one of the earlier videos, I mentioned you got to have a Gates green on these things. It just looks so good in the engine bay. It's a heavy duty belt. Really intended for, a root style blower like this. And like I said, green belt just looks badass in there. It adds some nice contrast to the yellow. So this finally came in. Ordered this a long time ago. It finally came in. I don't know what was up with that Amazon seller, but finally came in, so we can get that installed. And we'll call the engine bay completely done. So those are three simple parts. I've also got one over here. This is an OEM fender liner. You guys might be asking, well, why do you have that? Was there a problem with the other one? And I don't think anyone noticed. I don't think anyone said it in the comments, but this has bothered me since the day I bought this car. I don't know why, but it has one of these cheap, flimsy, aftermarket fender liners only on the driver's side. And as you can see, it hangs down, looks like crap. And the complaints about these are all over the internet, so they're just junk. So we're gonna wanna replace that fender liner with this used one that I got on eBay. I don't think they make them new anymore. And you can't really see these anyway, so I just wanted to make sure that it was solid. See how it holds its shape so much better? I'm pretty sure when we get that other one out, it's just gonna wrinkle right up. Like, it's just complete garbage. But even though you can't really see these, I wanna give this a quick coat of paint, nice satin black coat of paint, then we'll get it installed over there. So yeah, a couple parts can really bring this car through the finish line, and then we've got even more stuff coming right after we get these installed, which all of them should be pretty easy, but let's get to work. Starting with the owner's manual, because we can do it right now. Nothing really to do here. Boom, owner's manual installed. Easiest install ever. All right, now let's actually get to work. All right, guys, we are knocking things out left and right on this thing. Just like I said, we're gonna get started with some easy stuff. Got the owner's manual in the glove box. Check, good to go. Next, I got that wheel well liner in, the OEM wheel well liner. I did a quick refurb on that, just a quick coat of satin black spray paint. Looks perfect. No more sagging wheel well liner. Tucked in there nicely, just like factory OEM. Threw the other one exactly where it belongs, right in the trash. Green belt is on there, looks absolutely fantastic in here. Gave this a quick wipe down, not that it really needed it. It was already immaculate, but literally looks like this thing just came off the showroom floor with a couple little touches, you know, to let you know we're here to party. But, you know, 90% stock Terminator engine here. Looks stupid clean. Love the kind of contrasting Canon filter with the green belt, billet pulleys, you know, the red Optima battery. Then you get the blue injectors, the OEM injectors peeking down in there. Just looks super clean, super tidy. Happy with that. Also got a new key cut and a fob programmed, and programmed the key with the resistor in it and everything. So we got 2 sets of keys for this now. I'll show you that in 1 second, but I'm kind of rushing right now because I'd like to wash this thing. Believe it or not, if you don't believe me, go back and watch the videos, but I've owned this thing since, I think it was like April 1st it came off the trailer. It is now July 31st today, and I have never washed it. The only way you can really tell is the windshield. I mean, I trailered this thing through a monsoon to the dyno tuner. I've gotten caught in the rain with it one time when me and my buddies were going to a car show, but I have never washed this thing, and it still looks really good. That being said, we're about to dive into the paint on this thing. So let's give it its first wash under my ownership, 4-ish months after purchasing it. Get it outside, get it cleaned up. Told you we had a working fob. All right, guys, it's the next day here. Last night ran out of light real fast.
Hurry, SpongeBob. I think it's getting dark.
Gave this thing a wash. First wash since I've owned it, believe it or not. Yellow hides dirt and dust really well, but it looks awesome. I've been saying it since I bought this car, but it's probably the cleanest one I've ever owned. Just immaculate inside, outside, but just giving it a quick wash. I mean, I don't even know if I need to touch the paint. I'm going to, but probably most people wouldn't because it's just about perfect. But yeah, I'm gonna do a very quick paint correction on this car, and the reason it's gonna be very quick is because it really doesn't need anything. This is never gonna show up on camera, but there is, you know, I don't know, some light water spotting that could probably be removed, maybe some light scratches that would come out. And obviously I want to seal this thing up with a coat of protectant as well. Got this thing washed up last night. It's always nice to let it kind of dry the next day so when you're buffing you don't get drips of water down. But we're just about ready to start paint correction. Got all my tools out. This is what I'm going to arm myself with for just about every paint correction. I don't know if we're going to need all this, more specifically cutting compound and cutting pad, just because, like I said, this car really doesn't need it. It doesn't have heavy swirling, oxidation, or anything like that. It literally just could probably use a quick polish, which is going to be this stuff here, then the blue pad, and then obviously once that's done, we want to seal it all in. I'd like to use the Crystal Serum Light, which is a ceramic coating, but I need to check the date on this. I've had it for kind of a while, and I want to make sure it's not expired. If not, we could always go with my tried and true synthetic sealants, but we want to make sure we seal all this in so that it's good for a long time to go. Here's my trusty DA, the Flex DOS Original. This is I think this is a 5-inch backing plate, usually designed for like a 6-inch pad. And then I also got this for my birthday back in April. Still haven't used it. This is the Rupes or Rupes. I don't know how you say it. Maybe you guys let me know in the comments. But this is basically a smaller, looks like a large version of my electric toothbrush. But this is for smaller areas. So you could use this like down in here, things like that. So we'll see if we get into this thing or not. But yeah, got this for my birthday. Super nice kit. Comes with, you know, it's a cordless unit, so you'd have to charge the batteries, but it's got microfibers and different polishes and compounds and all that stuff down there. So we'll see. But yeah, we've got everything we need to bring this paint from, you know, a 9 or 9.5 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10. Like I said, you guys on camera, I'm going to do all this work. It might look exactly the same on camera, but, you know, a car of this caliber, I just want it to be absolutely 100% perfect and know that it's coated and you know, going to be good to go for a while. But before we do that, because it also doesn't need much, I'd like to do the interior. Still has the dealer mats on it from the guy that I bought it from, so the carpet basically just needs a quick vacuum. Might wipe the seats down, give them a quick coat of leather conditioner. Other than that, they're 100% perfect, front and back. Quickly wipe the dash and door panels down, and then we're done in here. Also have the floor mats outside. Drying, I gave those a quick shampoo. I might do a few test panels on the front to see if we need to do any clay bar. Just to, you know, a car this clean probably doesn't need it, but we'll see if there's any contaminants. Typically areas that are going to get contaminants on them is the hood, the bumper, and sometimes the fenders, maybe the rockers. So we'll check that too. Then we'll get everything taped off and we should be good to go. But yeah, let's get back to work. Let's knock out that interior. Let's get everything taped off. Let's start doing a quick clay bar just to make sure that we're ready to start our paint correction. Let's get to work. Alrighty, it's been a couple days, but I'm back on the Cobra today, so let me show you what I got done. Starting with the interior, this thing is like a time capsule back to 2004. The finest Ford plastics, luxury everywhere you look. No, but really, nothing special. I mean, it's a basically bone stock 04 Cobra Mustang interior, which, as I think I mentioned in the first video, and anyone who's driven one of these cars knows, is nothing really to write home about, but it is immaculate. I honestly think this interior is a 9.8 or a 10 out of 10. There's literally no wear anywhere. Wiped down the door panels. Like I said, I shampooed these aftermarket Cobra mats. These aren't the factory mats, but I've always liked these. I think that the snake that kind of matches the Cobra emblem on the side is a nice classy touch. Gave it everything a quick vacuum. The entire car, again, didn't really need much. Just to be fancy, I even used some of that plastic polish on the cluster, so that thing is nice and shiny, looks brand new. Wiped down every panel in the entire interior, including the door panels. Used some leather conditioner on all the leather surfaces, front and rear. And I mean, these seats are just absolutely beautiful. Anyone who's owned any type of sports car knows that the first place it's gonna wear, if it's gonna wear anywhere in the interior, first place it's gonna wear is right here. Driver's side bolster, basically zero wear. And I mean, it's still nice and supple. No rips, no tears, no like, you know, chipping, dye or anything like you see all the time on these cars in any sports car, because people will grab here to kind of pivot themselves out. So people like myself, and hopefully most of you, when you get in out of your cars, your sports cars, don't grab them here. That's what wears them. You know, I usually put my hand down here and kind of pivot out and just reduce the wear on that bolster, but we did like a double application here. So this is nice and soft still. Should look like this for many, many years to come. But yeah, absolutely beautiful interior in here. So there's that. That's all done. Interior is completely 100% done. Very happy with it. Nothing left to do there. On the outside, got all of our plastic trim surfaces that might come in contact with polish taped off. Here the windshield's a great example. As the buffer's coming by, you don't want that white, you know, paste going into your trim, especially beautiful trim like this. So good habit to get into with any paint correction. Same thing on the mirrors, windshield trim, rear window trim. You guys get the idea. And even the bumper guard on the bottom, or the splitter rather. So that thing's ready to go. We are ready for paint correction. Also, two other things. Clay barred some areas of the car. I feel like a broken record with this car, but it didn't really need it. I think I showed the clay in some of the B-roll footage there, but like I said, the bumper I did, top of the hood, and the rockers, just a little bit of contaminant in the clear coat, but we got rid of that. The rest of the surfaces were buttery smooth, didn't even really need anything. Wiped the whole car down again. One area here, which I showed, I gotta find it now. There it is. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but there was a tiny rock chip there. I touched it up with some of my Screaming Yellow touch-up paint, then wet sanded it down, added some clear coat, wet sanded again, and then buffed it. So, you know, from literally anything farther than 6 inches away, you would never even know that there was that one rock chip on the front bumper. So that's hopefully the only time I should have to use our cutting compound and cutting pad on the car, because the rest of this car, like I said, it needs just a quick one-step polish, really bring out that shine, and get ready for us to coat it. So with all our prep work being done, there's really only one thing left to do. Just like UGK said, it's time to go front, back, and side to side. With our buffer, of course. Sorry you had to hear that. All right, let's get to work. Cue 80s synthwave music montage. Well, here she is. No idea if it looks any different on camera than it did 3 minutes ago, as far as you guys are concerned, but many, many hours later, we're done with the one-step paint correction. Guess I should be thankful it's a lot less hours than a two-step paint correction, but like I said, we were starting with a really good canvas. This paint is flawless. Looks so good. Really, really happy with how this came out. But yeah, finished up the correction late last night. It's the next day here. I usually do some sort of time lapse with this kind of stuff because like I said, and as you probably saw, it's very tedious, very repetitive, you know, just basically doing a basket weave pattern, up, down, back and forth, and not all that exciting, but the end result is always worth it. But now that the paint is looking perfect all the way around the car, it's time to seal it in. And I discussed this a little earlier, but we're gonna switch up the plan a little bit. I was hoping to use I usually like to do Crystal Serum Light and then top it with XO V4. But my Crystal Serum Light apparently does not have the shelf life that I thought it did. And this stuff is like a year old and it's white. Not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look clear like this. So usually I like to do the Crystal Serum Light and then top it with an XO V4. But this time I'm only gonna go with the XO V4 because A, it's not expired, and B, this stuff is quoted to last for 18 to 24 months. It's gonna give us the best shine we can, and my favorite part is the hydrophobic properties of this stuff. So this stuff is gonna make, you know, maintenance washes on this thing a breeze. But, you know, if this says it lasts 18 to 24 months, for a car that's gonna be garaged its entire life and only driven on nice days, it's gonna last a lot longer than that. It's gonna be a lot better than any off-the-shelf wax or sealant. So just a one-step ceramic coating, the G-Technic XO V4. Same as any ceramic coating, you're gonna put it on. It comes with this little pad. I usually like to use these that I got on Amazon. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit easier to hold and control. They even give you gloves and a little sticker, but basically you're gonna saturate the pad, and then it's the same basket weave pattern, up and down, side to side. You just start with like a 2 foot by 2 foot section. I like to go up the middle, then go back and forth to kind of spread it out. And then, you know, do that a bunch of times so you're sure you have even coverage. And then to level it, you use 2 microfibers. First microfiber, you know, get the heavy stuff off, then you flip it over, get most of the rest of the heavy stuff off. And then the second microfiber, you come through and make sure that there's absolutely nothing on there. Because those of you guys that are not familiar with ceramic coatings, it's basically like, not quite, but it's almost like a second clear coat. Like you can't, if I've seen cars that have ceramic coating that's not wiped off, it's like a hard water spot. It does not come off with water, a towel, rubbing, anything. You literally have to polish it off, and then you have to, you know, re-ceramic coat that area. So point being, you want to make sure you get all the product off or all the product leveled. Yellow is going to be kind of tricky, but like with a black car, you want to go through with a light and make sure that there's no product left on there. Before we can apply the ceramic coating, we need to completely decontaminate the surface. Any polishes or oils or anything that was left behind by the polishing, we need to make sure it's off so we get proper adhesion of the ceramic coating. For that, we're gonna use a panel wipe. I personally use this CarPro eraser stuff just because I've had it, but you know, some people even use water and, you know, rubbing alcohol, you know, distilled at a certain rate. But, you know, panel wipe is cheap enough. It's kind of a no-brainer, but basically it's like quick detail. You just spray down the whole car, wipe it down, make sure it's totally 100% clean, and then you can apply the ceramic coating. So yeah, really nothing to it but to do it at this point. Let's get this thing sealed up, get this paint 100%, and that is pretty much the last thing to do for the cosmetics of this car, and I cannot wait to see the final result. Let's get to work. That thing is bright, and damn, it looks good. Well, I stayed up late once again last night, burning that midnight oil, and got this entire car ceramic coated, every single surface, paint, glass, trim, wheels, everything from head to toe, front to back, ceramic coated with G-Technique XOV4. Also the wheels I did with popular product that I like to use, G-Technique, what's it called? C5 wheel armor. It's good stuff, specifically designed for wheels and resisting brake dust and all that. The car looks incredible. Can't see it yet. I got a couple other little minor details things I want to take care of. Then we'll give you the full reveal of this 100% cosmetically perfect 2004 Screaming Yellow Mustang Cobra. Here we go. I feel like I just got in a time machine and landed at the Ford dealership back in 2004. Look at this thing. Here she is, guys, 100% done. This color is just boom, in your face. Screaming yellow, ceramic coated, fully detailed inside and out. Gotta wear your sunglasses because this thing is so bright. Beautiful morning sun. Speechless. I just can't believe how clean this car is. Absolutely love it. I'm usually not a yellow guy, but I gotta say, after my yellow Z06 and now this car, which are, you know, not the same paint code, but they're pretty similar, it's really growing on me. This thing is just, it's in your face, you know? It's right here. Check out the interior too. You guys already saw this, but you know, same thing. The lighting is tricky right now. It is bright, but it's spotless. Inside, outside, under the hood. Got those MRT hood struts that get rid of the stupid factory hood prop. Look at this thing. Showroom condition. Well guys, that is gonna do it for the 2004 Mustang Cobra project. When we got this thing, we had to push it off the trailer, push it in the garage. It didn't run all the way to here now. 100% mechanically sorted, 100% cosmetically sorted, inside, outside, front to back. This thing is an absolutely perfect example of a Terminator or a 2003, 2004 Mustang Cobra. I don't think there is a single thing that I would change on this car at this point in time. It's a perfect driver. I've had a ton of fun with it this summer, ripping around town. It drives awesome, everything works, perfect exterior, perfect interior. Just a beautiful example of one of these cars, and a really rare, one of 299 Screaming Yellow Coupes. The whiteboard's empty. There's nothing else I want to do to this car. There's nothing else I would do to this car right now. So with that, I think that we can call this project 100% complete. So with that, I think that the car will be for sale. So if any of you guys are interested in buying this beautiful 2004 Mustang Cobra, I'll leave my email in the description. Price is going to be somewhere in the low 40s. I'm not entirely 100% sure yet, but any serious buyers are welcome to reach out to me and let me know if you're interested. I might do one more video on this car. I think on the red Z06 I did kind of a price breakdown and recap, and that video was really popular, seemed to be well received by most of my viewers. So if you guys want to see something similar on this car as far as a price breakdown, full recap of what we did in a, you know, condensed style video, let me know, and that's something I can definitely do for you guys. All that being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed the complete cosmetic transformation on this car and the video series as a whole. These cars hold a really special spot in my heart. I've owned a couple of them in the past. This is definitely not going to be the last one that I own. And who knows? You know, we might have another one here soon. But thank you guys as always for watching. See you in the next one.